Kristen, what are these typewriters all about?
Aren't they wonderful? This is kind of our technology, if you will, area. So we've got the display here of all of the different old typewriters. And what's fun is when we get children here in the museum, a lot of them have never seen a typewriter, let alone typed on a typewriter. So we encourage them to touch the keys and to see what they're like, and then we've got one out in the front room, in the main room, where they can actually type their names. We also feature some of the phones through the decades, including one of the original switchboards that was used here, and this was used in 1940. And what's fun about the phones as well as the kids, it's a lot of fun when they get to come in here and pick up the phones and practice like they're calling someone, because kids these days have never used a rotary dial phone, let alone a phone that didn't even have dial or numbers or anything like that.
Do they know what these are when they arrive?
Sometimes. I mean, they know what some of these ones are, but like this one that's the real old one, that's from 1890, and they're not sure what that one is. So it's fun to get to explain to them how even our telephones have changed and how technology has kind of helped to shape the valley as it is today. We have one of the first 5 slot machines that was ever brought into the valley, and that was at Faye's Cafe. And that's fun. It doesn't work anymore, but it's a fun treasure. We also have the movie projector that was in the Elward Theater, and the Elward Theater opened in 1934. The first movie was shown in 1936 because they had to wait for power to get here. But the projector is one that was in the Elward Theater.
Well, they were certainly ahead of their time, weren't they?
You know what? Everybody was in such anticipation of Hoover Dam being completed, because that's what they were waiting for, and so things were purchased ahead of the electricity getting here, in anticipation that electricity would come and they would be able to use it.
I think that's a wonderful story.
Yes.
Did they do anything else in the theater before the movies were shown? Did they have plays?
They did. They did have plays. It was kind of a community theater, if you will, where they did have plays, and then obviously the movies once they could. We also have, which I think is our greatest treasures here in the museum, is all of our books, and we have a lot of family histories from the founding families here, a lot of life stories. People have been so generous in donating their life and their story. We have school records that date back to the early 1900s of the schools here, and then we also have compiled just other Nevada information as well, but I really think that the books are one of our greatest treasures. We do have people that come in and want to just sit down and read, and want to look at the family books and want to do some research, and we encourage that. We want you to come in. We want the kids to come in and see that we offer, we can be an educational resource for them as well.
I've even come here looking for little bits about the mining history in Gold Butte.
Yes.
I was able to find some things, and that was very helpful. Are there some other topics that you are hoping people will contribute, or you might be able to build your collection?
We are open to everything, first of all. We want people to contribute, absolutely. We do have a collections policy as far as actual artifacts. We don't mind if the things are not local, in the sense that they were not from a founding family here. If you've moved into the area and you have family artifacts that you maybe would like displayed, we are certainly open to looking at them. Our only policy is that it needs to be something that would have been used local. So we want to keep the museum
So
local.
it is a local museum.
It is.
Just like it
It
says,
is.
Virgin Valley Heritage
Yes,
Museum.
absolutely.
And that's important to keep focused too, because you could become the attic
Yes.
for the town
Yes.
with a lot of things that wouldn't gain as much meaning if they didn't have a focus.
Yes, absolutely. But we not only want things, we want the stories behind them. We want to know about the people that used them, that owned them, that had them. The stories are what makes them important. We also have a section in the front room of binders that is just information that's been compiled about the local plants, about the local Native American history and things that they used to use the plants and things for, the mining. So we're open to people coming in if they've got some local information, maps, things like that. We want them. We want you to come in and bring your stuff.
I've heard that you have done some videos of some of the older people in our community who
Yes.
had stories to tell.
Yes, yes. A lot of the founders forums that took place over in City Hall have been videoed, and we have those videos, as well as they brought a lot of those people that were born and raised here into the back room and have videoed them and let them just talk about what it was like to be born and raised here, tell about their parents, because unfortunately even some of those folks are no longer here with us, and the rest are getting older. So we want to preserve their story. So you can come in anytime and watch those videos.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Right. So they're
open.
available for the public to just
are.
come in and see and listen.
Yes, absolutely.